Hello, and in this video we will be creating a histogram and determining a mean and sample standard deviation, and we'll also look at a way you can create this column here as well. So first, we'll start by figuring out a mean. So to do this, I'm on 3.2.4. It gives you original, and then it wants you to complete that information on your test. I'll show you how we get these values on the original, and then you complete the test one by yourself. So first, to get the mean, all we had to do, I'm going to delete what we already have. All we have to do is type in equals, and if we want mean, another word for mean is average, so I'm going to type in average, and then you have to tell what values you want to look at. So we want to look at, you could highlight all the values here, or we can just click on the B, and it's going to calculate that average for us. You can close parentheses, or it automatically defaults to do that, and hit enter, and it gives us our average. Next, we need a standard deviation. I'm going to again delete what they have, and we're going to type in equals. We want standard deviation, so I'm just going to start typing standard ST, and it says standard deviation. In this case, we have a subset of the overall data, so this is not the overall total data, which would be our population. So this is what's called a sample standard deviation. So we want to select the standard dev.s for sample standard deviation. Again, we select that. We select our values or highlight our values. Again, I'm just going to click on B, and that gives us our standard deviation. And again, we do the sample one since this is a subset of the overall data. So that's how we get that data. Next, I'm going to delete this histogram that I took out on here off, and we'll create our own histogram. So first, I'm going to select the data I want the histogram for. And again, this is using Google Sheets. It's going to be a little different if you use Excel or a different program. So I'm going to start by highlighting my data. You could go down and highlight them. I like to just click on the top. That way, if we need to add data, we can. I'll click on the A. I'll hold Control and click on the B as well. From there, you can either drop down, insert chart, or over here on the side, I also have the same feature. So I'm just going to come over and click insert chart. Then you have to select what type of chart you want. So in this case, one of the options it gives me is histogram. If it doesn't give it to you on top, you can scroll down and you should be able to find it down below under one of your other categories. But it gives me that as one of my suggested values. So that gives me a histogram. It doesn't set it up how I want it yet. So we do have to make some adjustments under customize. So the big thing we need to customize is under histogram. And then we want to change our bucket size. If you look, previously it went by 1, so we knew if it was 22, 23, 24, 25, etc. So we want to change our bucket size to 1. So now we know if it's 19, 20, 21, and you can easily look and count. If you want to, you can adjust your axis. You can add the subs to make it go by 1, or however you want. But overall, this gives me enough information. I can see histogram of my IV. It's got my labels. On the side, I might want to change what says IV to amount of rows. And down here where it says jumbo number, you might just want to put IV because that's what's actually showing down the IV value. So now I have my histogram. Again, you can do a lot of modifications if you want, but it gives us the information we want. We can see for 19 I have 1, for 20 I have 3, and so on. So you can look at the graph and get those counts, or up here it gave us those counts. I'll show you another way you can get those counts as well. So up here it just gave us those counts from looking at the graph. I'm going to delete those values off, and I'm going to delete my probability as well. And to get a jumbo row, another way you could do that would be to do a count if feature. So I'm going to type in equals count if. That way I don't have to worry. This would be more useful if you have even more information. Count if. I select my range, so I'm just going to click B, and then I have to tell it what count if what. So I hit a comma, and then I'm just going to click on this 19 so I can drag that equation down. So that says count if, it's in row B, and it's numbered, in this case, 19. It's going to be 1. Then I can drag that equation down by selecting in the box and going in the bottom corner and dragging that equation down. Down here at the bottom, it's already got an equation set up for your total count. I'll delete that off and type it back in for you. So On the bottom, I'm going to equals, and it's predicting sum of what I want. I want to add up all the values above me, so I'm going to do sum, and I'm just going to click this selected rather than select them all. And that tells me my total value. Finally, I want to know my probability. To do my probability, I have to do equals, and that would be the number of rows. Take that divided by, and then I need this 50 number total. If I just click on it, it's going to continue to drag down. So however, if I do a $sign and then I type in the cell value, E, and then $sign, I don't have to do the second $sign, but since I did the first one, I'll do it with the second one. I select the row number, which in this case is 13, and hit enter. And then it's auto selecting me to autofill. You can hit the green check to do that. I'm actually going to hit the X, and again, just so you can do the drop down, drag it down, and get your values that way as well. We had to do the $sign, so it did E13 for all of them. If you don't do that, then it's going to continue to drop down as well. So make sure to include that to lock it on that E13 cell where that 50 is found. So hopefully this helps you to set up your histogram, determine the mean and sample standard deviation, and then you can set up this chart as well if you want. Thank you and good luck.